Hey guys, Cam for 15, joined by my co-host, my Uncle Daryl, and this is like I think the first video I've done on this channel for like months. I know we've recorded like other videos, but I've been too busy being able to get them up on the channel, so hopefully
Yeah,
this
you
good.
got a lot of irons in the fire, with your current place of employment. Well, we get it. Baseball season's almost over anyway, so you'd be good.
Yeah. So hopefully this should get up at least probably tomorrow, Saturday, because it's my mom's birthday, and then obviously I have to go coach or help out with the varsity football team
Oh, say that again. Your mom's birthday is when?
today.
Mine's tomorrow.
No, it's today.
I had no idea your mom and I had almost similar birthdays.
Mm-mm. It's today.
Till I said happy birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea.
All right. So, NFL is back. Great. College football was last week, which I enjoyed it. And then now
No,
NFL is back. And obviously it started off yesterday with Kansas City versus Detroit. Now, obviously this is our prediction video. We're gonna go into the other predictions. We didn't have enough time to do prediction for the Thursday night game. Um, that probably will be the same course throughout the season.
but I'm sorry, I did text you before the.
Yes, we both
All
went
right.
Lions.
Okay, we both went live. I just want to, let's get that out there.
So on the
Method to our madness, though, as far as why we went Lions.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously it's opening night. Chiefs obviously open up, their night as the defending Super Bowl champions. And shockingly enough, the Detroit Lions, a team that a lot of people in the national media are really high on this year. I'm high on them to an extent, personally. The whole thing of like me seeing on certain national media like shows or other stuff where they got them going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, calm down now. Make the playoffs before we're talking Super Bowl first. Um the Lions come in the building, defeat the Chiefs 21-20. Um and to be honest, I wasn't really shocked because one, Travis Kelce was out. He got hurt with a hyperextended knee like 2 days prior to the game getting started in practice.
Yep.
So obviously you take that huge threat away, and that only makes it easier for the Lions defense to cover because especially when you look into this game with all the well, I summed it up in a tweet. The Chiefs all the Chiefs receivers are just Jags, aka just another guy.
Yeah.
Um,
I
they're
call
not.
them twos and fews.
Yeah,
That's all they got. They got no number one. They barely had a number. They really don't have a number two. I
yep,
mean, they just had a bunch of threes and fours out there. They didn't seem like they that they knew the route tree. I mean, but and I got other opinions on their
yeah.
offense. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're Bears fans, and we know what it's like to have a terrible receiving core with a pretty talented quarterback at the position. Only difference is the offensive line play for the Chiefs. It was solid. Obviously they're replacing their two tackles from last year. Obviously I think the biggest one was Jawan Taylor. A lot of people were bringing him up like, oh, he's jumping off sides clearly a lot, or he's false starting. They did catch him one time. So maybe they got to go back in the office and fix that up. But again, like none of these receivers, seemingly enough, looked like they created separation. And if they did, well, especially if you're Kadarius Toney, he was dropping wide open passes. One of those drop passes ended up being a pick six. And then even on the one last drive,
I'm sorry. You can say what you want about Kadarius Toney. People can say whatever they want about Kadarius Toney, but when your momentum is taking you one way and the ball is behind you, Mahomes made a lot of bad throws. And the only reason why people ain't jumping on Mahomes for his bad throws is because he's this great quarterback. Well, even great quarterbacks make bad throws. Now, granted, wide receivers make great catches on bad throws. Okay, I'll give you that if that's what you're going to say. However, that pick six was a bad throw. The one he dropped in the fourth quarter was behind him. He had to basically, and Kadarius Toney is being gifted as being very fast. So when your momentum is taking you one way and you got to quickly come back to catch a bad throw, I mean, it was just bad all the way around for Kansas City. And the wide receivers, granted, they did They messed up a lot. But you can't put it all on the wide receivers. Mahomes has to take some type of accountability for his throws.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I can understand. I kind of live by the mantra, even though those were bad throws, it still hit the receiver. I'm not defending Mahomes. The ball hit the receiver in his hands, especially on that
Yeah,
pick six. It
I
hit the
get it.
ball in his
If your
hands.
hands touch it, if your hands touch it, you should be able to catch it. That's the mantra.
Yeah.
If your hands touch it, you gotta come down with it. I get it. But Mahomes still put them receivers in bad situations and expected them to do great things. And then, let's just say if they did make those catches, all that credit is going to go to Mahomes.
Yeah. True.
So some of the blame should go to him too.
Yeah. But other than that, offensively, it's not good. Clearly the Chiefs need to invest in getting in a legit elite offensive wide receiver one in that building.
Yep.
Whoever that may be, Mike Evans has been talked up because it's like he's going to a contract year or something like that.
Mhm.
If the Buccaneers are not good, maybe he might want out. So whatever the Chiefs have to offer, this goal could be like a trickle down effect from just giving away Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins instead of just paying the guy because clearly he helped out a lot. But we'll see. And then also too, this was the first game without Eric Bieniemy as their OC, and we Bear fans know who was our head coach. There was some questionable
You know
play
who was calling the plays in Kansas City? We know who was calling it. You Bears fans automatically know that when they line up 5 wide on 1st and 10, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
And two, instead of just playing general power football, they playing that college stunt misdirection crap. Y'all know exactly who that is.
Yeah. I don't know if Andy Reid gave some play calling duties to Matt Nagy, but Matt Nagy's the new offensive coordinator. So if you see these weird, like cute calling plays, like the end arounds and the simple trick plays that try to catch you, that's Matt Nagy
That's Nagy.
Yeah.
That's Nagy.
So
I think you all think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl with this kind of play calling.
Yeah. Defensively, honestly, thought the Chiefs were solid. Now, I still think they could use Chris Jones, which, funny enough, he was sitting in the crowd in the game.
Yeah, he's holding out. He's trying to get that. And you know what? Now that Nick Bosa got that,
He's gonna be wanting more.
I wouldn't call that a Brinks truck. I mean, man, Nick Bosa got Fantasy Island, Jack. So y'all can expect, Chris Jones to hold out, but Kansas City has got to be careful because if he holds out longer than he gets credit for a season when he plays 8 games. So I expect some type of resolution before week 7.
Yeah. They didn't look too bad. There are some issues that clearly can be cleaned up by the defensive side of the ball, but I still think they could use Chris Jones. I think, and if some of those critical, third downs when they need a guy to get after Jared Goff, he could have been there to help. But you got to play with the guys you play. But I think honestly, the Chiefs defense did good enough to win. If you can hold a team, especially in today's NFL, to 21 points, you'll take that. And especially with the offense, you would think you would have to score more than 20 points. And let's be honest, this goes to props for the Lions. There was times where the Chiefs had the ball when they were up in the game, or it was the 14-14 game. They had chances where they got into the red zone. They just didn't turn those touchdowns or those opportunities into touchdowns. They only made them settle for field goals. So that's props to the Lions defense for not bending or breaking. They just only bent for a bit, held them to a field goal, and they knew, okay, we can trust our offense to get down the field and score. What you see from the Lions offense is probably what you're going to see all season long. They're going to be pretty much a power running football team, due to their great offensive line. David Montgomery, former Chicago Bears. I thought he played fine. He honestly played just like typical Bears David Montgomery, getting the carries he can get. Gibbs was actually pretty explosive, and it's shocking because he had I think 7 carries throughout the game. So I would fully expect over the course of time, they're going to have Gibbs starting at the running back position because he's just more of an explosive and faster player than Montgomery is. Montgomery's pretty much your power back that you probably want in the red zone or on the goal line right then and there.
Right.
Which,
Those goal line carries that Jamal Williams got last year,
Mhm.
those are all going to be transferred to David Montgomery. And they got a thunder and lightning, so to speak, type of offense, but they got two running backs who can actually play in the run and the pass.
Yep.
Although Gibbs, as a rookie, I would not use him just yet as that power back. But the only thing, hopefully they stay healthy, because I think after those two, is not very much on that depth chart in Detroit. So, but what got me was it's the usual stuff. And you know my theory: run the ball, stop the run, quarterback don't make any mistakes. That's how Detroit did it.
Yep.
Kansas City, on the other hand, they ran the ball, what, 14, 20, 23 times. 8 of those was with Pacheco, which is their best running back. It's like, you can't do that. You can't do that in today's NFL. You have to be able to set a solid boundary for running in today's game. And they couldn't stop the run, especially late in the game, where Montgomery got a touchdown late. I mean, that, 8-yard run, he was barely touched.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Kansas City, Detroit just wore them down late. And, due to the fact that, Mahomes had, very little to no help from wide receivers and tight ends on the roster. The defense was tired, and they just didn't run the ball enough, in my opinion, to be able to, let's just say, try to take control of this game, especially when they went up 17-14.
Yep.
They just didn't do enough. As a matter of fact, they went up 20-14.
Yep.
And at that particular moment in the fourth quarter, I would have thought they would have done the same thing that they did to win the Super Bowl. Put Mahomes over center and let Pacheco just beat the brakes off the Detroit defense. They knew that the Kansas City Chiefs was not going to run the football, so they just dialed their pass rushers up to come get them.
Yep.
So I mean, in the usual Matt Nagy style, he just don't do those three things when he's play call. He won't run the ball.
Yep.
And Spagnuolo, who's a great defensive coordinator, he did fantastic, I thought.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances, the offense gave the defense no assistance.
Yeah. I think you can say, like, and that kind of goes to the Lions, like, yeah, they got a pretty good win that they can build off on, especially going to next week against Seattle. But even then, it's like, it was it was a solid win. Did it convince me a bit? I'm like, not really. I'm like, if the Chiefs make several differences playing, and again, I'm not creating excuses for the Chiefs. They should have won this game.
Correct.
But if you say turn those 2 field goal attempts into touchdowns, well, then the Lions are losing this game 28-14.
Correct.
The play calling,
21. It's still a win for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Me personally, from what I see down the line, is that Amon-Ra St. Brown is, for me, the real only solid receiver that you can consistently throw to. Yeah, Raymond, and there was another receiver.
Marvin Jones Jr.
I mean, they all right, but I can't see one of those receivers getting targeted the times that St. Brown is getting targeted. So my thinking is, if you take away St. Brown, then you can limit what this Detroit offense tries to do from a passing standpoint.
Yeah.
But Montgomery and Gibbs are going to be a problem for whoever decides to play, whoever's going to play them.
Yep. Totally agree. So, again, credit to the Lions for winning. It's always hard to go into Arrowhead and win a game there. So as we move on to the remaining part of week 1, which I'm very excited to talk about, I might as well get this game out the way now since we're Bear fans. It's Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. Basically, a new era starting in Green Bay after Aaron Rodgers ups and leaves. Jordan Love is now the starting quarterback. The Bears coming off their horrendous season last year, but I guess in some of our eyes, it was probably the best thing that could happen to us. We have new additions on defense and offense. The Packers, they basically look similar with the exception of their wide receiver core looking brand new. Um, but other than that, it's basically the same team from the Packers, aka new receivers, and then Jordan Love. Um, Personally, at this point in time, you know, I think the Bears need to win this game. I think this is a massive game for the Bears. So I'm picking the Bears in this game. Just from the standpoint, you just have to set the tone in this new era of this Bears Packers rivalry. You cannot have Jordan Love start on the winning side of things, and the next thing you know, it's same old, same old. And I'm not just saying this as a Bears homer or a Bears fan. I'm just saying if you want to change around, and it's funny because I hear all the Bears players, they're talking all their stuff. Not some of them, I know Justin Fields, he said he didn't really care what happened in the past, albeit I'm like, you should kind of to an extent. You've lost to this team like 4 times basically already in your career. So whatever, at least pay into it. But you have like guys like Justin Jones talking about how he hates the Pat. I'm like, listen, that's nice. You can say all this stuff. Go out there and beat them on Sunday in Soldier Field. I don't want to hear you talk about how much you want to beat Green Bay and Green Bay sucks and their fans suck, even though their fans can be annoying. Go out there, go beat Green Bay, and then back up your talk. Because really, in all honesty, Green Bay Packers have the right to talk whatever they want about the Bears because they've been beating our butts the past few years. But I think you got to go in there. You got to obviously clearly stop the run. You got to stop Adams and Dillon any way you can, which that could be a concern because the defensive line, albeit it's improved, it's still like not that best.
Yeah.
Linebacking core is great, secondary great. Defensive line still is a question mark. And they weren't really too good in the preseason in terms of stopping out the run. And I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to probably be somewhat similar. I still think improvements need to be made in terms of the defensive line. I'm right then and there, especially the fact that you just cut Travis Gibson away for free, basically. And I understand the reasons why behind that, but you got to do that. If you stop the run, just get to Jordan Love and sack him. Making this guy have no confidence in where he has to go. Now, apparently, from what I know, Dobbs and Watson, they're questionable or they might not play because they got a hamstring issue. If that's the case and they don't play, no excuses not to win. Offensively for the Bears, run the ball. Justin Fields, keep the ball out of their hands. Don't turn the ball over. No fumbles. Gonna be very interesting to see how he plays in this game. I thought he played fine in preseason. The last game, not exactly how I would like to see it, but it is what it is. It's preseason, I guess. But hopefully he looks better in this game because the last time he played the Packers on Soldier Field, he had like one of his best games of his career. Like not only rushing, but passing the ball too. So I think, with the receivers that the Bears have, they'll be able to get the upper hand this time, get a W. I'm not going to give a score prediction, to be honest, but we should win this game. Packers, I think they'll do what they can. I think they'll mostly run this ball. Defensively, I think they can be beat. Like, they have a lot of solid players, but they're not that good of a defense in my eyes. They're all right, but nothing to like be like, oh, it's an elite defense, a top 10 defense, but it's fine for the most part. But if the Packers will win this game if they can run the ball effectively. Jordan Love has time to pass the ball and get it to his receivers. And the Bears are just messing around and just whatever. But I feel like if the Bears can get pressure on Jordan Love, stop the run, and then play good, solid offense, they can win this game. I wouldn't say fairly easy, but they could do enough to get by and hopefully turn it around in the Bears' favor for this rivalry, and we can be the team dominating the Packers for the next decade, basically.
I I think the thing for me is our linebacking crew is good enough to keep the Packers from running the ball east and west. However, our defensive line, in my opinion, is going to be, can they keep the Packers from running the ball north and south? So that said, the best way, because basically both teams are coming in with a different look.
Yeah.
Um, new quarterback for the Packers, new wide receiving core, virtually new linebacker for the Bears. So there's a lot of hype for the Bears based on what Ryan Poles did in the offseason to improve the team. And we are excited for that. And it's also good to have your first game with so much excitement to be your largest and biggest and most hated rival in your building. First game of the year. So that's the game that you all should be hyped up about. Forget all that banter in the media. That stuff is just for those heads who like to listen to that kind of crap. But we all know that what's really going on behind the scenes. These guys are hyped up and play to beat their rival. Yep. So, but it is going to start with keeping Dillon and Jones at bay. Because if those guys are running crazy, Jordan Love's job is easy.
Yeah.
We keep them from running crazy and make Jordan Love throw the ball 30, 35 times, then we got a shot at beating him because his wide receiving core, in my opinion, is nowhere near the wide receiver core that's going to be on the other side of the field. Yep. So Getsy has got to dial it up. And Alan Williams, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Poles has put this defense together so that you can be great at what you do. And he has given you the linebacking core. He's given you the secondary. Okay, he could have given you maybe a couple of edge rushers, but you know what? I think he will throughout the season as everything unfolds. If we are a playoff team looking really good by week 8, I can see them edge rushers, free agents being signed. Okay? But this game right here it's got to be a statement game. First game of the year, it's got to be a statement game. Got to be.
Yeah.
Because Fields is in his 3rd year. And after that, you got his 4th, and then that 5th year, then that rookie contract is nearing extinction.
Yep.
The Bears should be talking about Super Bowl within the next 3.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Let's get off to a good start now. Beat your rival, and let's start dominating. Because I think Poles has got a clock, and I'm pretty sure he's already let certain folks know we got a clock. Because I don't want to enter into this clock, having to give Fields $40-50 million. And we don't have a Super Bowl yet.
Yeah. Moving on. Next game.
I'm sorry. I think the Bears are going to win too.
Okay.
All right.
Next game is the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. This would be CJ Stroud's first career regular season start against the Ravens, and dang, he's just going straight into the fire.
Ravens.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson coming back with Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, with the explosive offense they got, they should win this game. I think CJ Stroud.
Is it in Baltimore?
Yeah, it's in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, they should blow this team out.
Yeah, that's my starting defense for fantasy this week.
Yeah, mine are the Niners. I was lucky enough to get them, but I think anyway, yeah, mine's the Niners.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson coming back. I think he's only played really good with Zay Flowers and Bateman and Odell back and everything. But
I don't know what happened with the Ravens as far as why they decided all of a sudden give Lamar Jackson a wide receiver core, especially after they opened up the Brinks trucks for him. And prior to that, they gave him nothing.
Yeah.
But it could have been something where it'd be like, I'll sign with y'all if y'all get me some help. It could have been something like that. But yeah, everything is set up for the Ravens to win that division.
Yep.
I think they're gonna beat the brakes off Houston.
Yeah. I think I could see them giving CJ Stroud a tough time.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the Texans shock us, but I highly doubt it. But yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next game.
You hold on to that hope.
I'm not hoping. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's an entertaining game.
Man, please. Ravens gonna beat their ass.
Next game, Bengals at the Browns. Joe Burrow, if you didn't know, is now the highest paid quarterback in the league now.
Yep.
So absolutely crazy. But who couldn't see it coming? That guy's good. That's probably like one of my favorite, if not my favorite quarterback outside of anybody else
And
in the league.
he also says he's entering into a season as healthy as he's ever been. So that's his words.
Yeah.
So either case, it still will not be easy going into Cleveland and get a W.
Yeah.
But I think they will though.
Yeah. I think what is it? I think Cincinnati can go in there and beat them. I think they'll get by. Maybe they'll win by either 3 or 7 points. But
I don't think it's going to be a total. I don't think it's going to be a wash.
yeah.
Cleveland, by them being at home first game, they're going to be highly competitive.
Yep.
And it should come down to, which quarterback makes the better plays, And if that be the case, then yeah, you got to go with the better quarterback, which is Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to. I mean, he's got all the weapons. Everybody's back. That offensive line, we're gonna see how good it is because they've been letting the brother down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still like Cincinnati.
Yeah. The one thing that's gonna be the one thing that's gonna be interesting for Cincinnati is their defense. They did lose a few pieces, especially in their secondary. So it's gonna be interesting to see, is their defense, it was never like stout. It was always like that solid defense, but we'll see how it plays, but it should be able to beat their rival.
And Cleveland is no slouch.
Yeah.
Let's just say that Cleveland is no slouch. So they're going to do their best to run the ball right to that defense and wear them down. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Cincinnati should pull it out.
Next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go Minnesota this game. They're at home. They're just the better team. I think they're going to give Baker Mayfield problems with thanks to Brian Flores. And then Justin Jefferson's going to do what Justin Jefferson does.
Most times you just got to say which team has the better quarterback and which quarterback is at home. If the better quarterback is at home, I like to go with the team with the better quarterback. In this case, Cousins is better.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to admit it, but it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's either that or admit Baker Mayfield is the better quarterback.
It's me and Tress. We'll see how that game goes, but I got Vikings. They should win. They should win by 14.
They should win this game, and they should win it not easily, but comfortably.
I say by 14.
That sounds good. Game. That sounds good to
me. Titans at the Saints.
Oh,
damn, that's actually a hard game to pick.
It's a hard game to pick.
I'm gonna go.
Tannehill is starting.
Yeah,
he is starting, and they say he is healthy. And usually, when Tannehill is in it, Tannehill makes them a better team. He's not a great quarterback. He's efficient enough to come into your building and win. But that Saints team looks pretty good. And they're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still go with New Orleans. New Orleans is the real tough team to beat when they're at home. I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go the same. Now I could see them losing, especially if Derek Carr makes a critical mistake. He throws like an interception, then
think about it for a sec. Which quarterback is likely to make that crucial mistake?
Honestly, both of them could. I could see both of them doing that.
Which one is more likely?
Probably Tannehill.
I'll go with Carr. I'll say Carr.
I can agree. I can agree with that. Yeah.
At least Carr has been around a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas for the most part, Tannehill, majority of his career has always been in that one spot.
Yeah.
So I still like New Orleans though.
And Kamara's not playing this game because he's suspended, right?
No, he's suspended, right?
So, yeah, I'm gonna go Saints here. I think this could be like a game the Saints win by 3 points, like a last second field goal.
Correct. I think it'll be a nice little statement game for them. Plus, the Saints don't have a roster to blow you out anyway, regardless of who's on the other side of the field. So yeah, I can go with a last second field goal to win.
Yep. NFC South play. We got the Panthers versus the Falcons. Jeez, that's like the 4th or 5th game this week. That's a division matchup already. Jeez.
Yep.
Panthers at the Falcons. I'm gonna go the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons are gonna shock a lot of teams and people this year in the NFC South. I think they honestly can compete for the NFC South this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they can win. Now, obviously, Desmond Ridder has to show up. He has to play good. Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know who the starting quarterback is. I don't know if it's Heineke.
Neither do I. But at the same time, either way it go, it doesn't matter who's the quarterback.
Yep.
Whoever Atlanta puts at quarterback has got the ball out.
Yep.
I don't care how great people think Bijan Robinson is. If you don't have a good quarterback, then today's defenses can take away what you do best, which may be Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
So I'll go with the Falcons still, primarily because the Panthers are throwing a rookie quarterback.
That offensive line wasn't good at all in the preseason.
No.
Heck, I think most of the receivers on
they're going to be vying for the #1 pick overall.
Yeah, and then I think most of the receivers they're like also hurt too.
Yeah.
I think they said Thielen, Chark, they're all hurt. Yeah. So
Panthers are limping into this game.
Yeah, and then too, they also got that Brian Burns contract issue too as well.
Right.
So
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Falcons make a statement and this be a 2-score victory on their parts. But I'll go Falcons.
Yeah, same here. Another divisional matchup. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. Honestly, I could see this game being like high scoring, like back and forth, but Colts just come up short.
Again, rookie quarterback starting for the Colts. He's got a decent wide receiver core. Running backs are not bad either, but we won't see Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Jacksonville because they got bigger fish to fry.
Mm-hmm. I think they're gonna just continue I think Jacksonville's just gonna continue what they did last season.
Yeah, I can't see Indianapolis. I mean, it'll probably be a close game.
Yeah.
Because the Colts are at home, they're gonna play hard. It's first game of the year. Everyone is seemingly healthy. So but what the Jacksonville Jaguars got going on this year is bigger than what the Colts got going on this year. So I'll go with Jacksonville.
Yep.
Probably by a touchdown.
Yeah. Very interesting matchup here will be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now it's in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going with Pittsburgh to win this game at home.
That's funny because I thought you were going to go with Frisco. I'm going with Pittsburgh too. I like Pickens. I like Johnson. I like Freiermuth. I love me some Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And that running back core they got in Pittsburgh is going to be a monster. So if Pickett makes the right decisions,
yep,
they should be good. The defense is always solid in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
A lot of people are jumping on that 49ers bandwagon, but I think last time I saw 2 openers for the 49ers, they lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they, Pittsburgh can get them. And I love me some Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
So I like Pittsburgh too.
Yep. Next game, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders. Commanders can blow out.
Washington.
Yeah.
They're starting a backup quarterback. They got one really good running back. They got no wide receivers. Arizona is going to be fighting for that #1 pick overall. Commanders.
Yeah. Next game, the Raiders and the Broncos.
I don't like either one of these teams, although
they got Sean Payton now.
There's a gentleman at our local at our gym on base. He said, "Watch out for the Raiders," and he's a Giants fan. So I'm gonna take that to heart.
What?
That's what he said. He said, "I like them." He said he likes the Raiders. But the Raiders is one of them teams. I say I can't trust.
Yeah.
So until they show me something, I'm gonna go with the other team. I'm going Broncos.
Yeah, I gotta go Broncos, especially the fact that Raiders got Jimmy Garoppolo starting, and then Chris Jones. He's already talking about how bad freaking what's his name is as the head coach in terms of presence? Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Who could have seen this coming about Josh McDaniels and his coaching style?
Then on top of that, you got Sean Payton cussing everybody out,
Oh
trying to
yeah,
get fired up. You know,
he's
telling Russ, hey, dude, you worry about your image on somebody else's clock.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Bronco.
a few more games. We're running out of time. Did you want to?
Yeah, no, let's go ahead and cut it and go back.
All right, we'll be back talking more NFL week predictions.
All right, cool.
Okay, so the next game on the list was a game from last year, and that was the Miami Dolphins at the Chargers. A rematch from last year's game. This time, week 1.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good game
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
because you know, I like the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think they deep at a lot of positions and can't afford an injury.
I think
But
they're pretty deep at wide receiver, to be honest, this year.
well, yeah, that's true. And that's what hurt them last year. You know, they got Williams and
Keenan
number
Allen,
13, Keenan Allen.
yeah,
They both
Quentin
they
Johnson.
yeah, they got Quentin Johnson, who's slated to be pretty good, but ooh,
You got to think about it. They got Kellen Moore as their OC now.
but the Dolphins, yeah, that don't say much because Dallas couldn't wait to get him out of there.
I think that was more of a Dak thing, though.
That's true. That's true. You know, Chargers at home,
Yep, they're at home.
and you know I love me some Dan Marino Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go with the Chargers too. And it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see if the Dolphins will be able to counteract what the Chargers did to them the last year they played them, which was kind of like I think they kept like one safety over the top just to cover with Hill or whoever had Hill, and they just played
right,
a defense that just basically clouded him in coverage.
right.
So yeah, but I don't know. Did Waddle play in the last game last year?
I think he did. I think we'd have to go back. I'm not sure because I know he did get hurt for some considerable weeks, and he could have. Nah, he was there late last year.
Okay.
Waddle was there late last year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna probably go with the Chargers. I think.
But Miami have made some upgrades on defense.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So,
I think it's gonna be a good game. I definitely see this game being like maybe 30 to 40 points scored between each team.
Yeah, I can say that. Real high scoring game, 38, 35 or something like that. Go down to the wire. But Austin Eckler stands out to me as a difference maker in this game where the Miami running backs I just don't see that can carry the same weight on their shoulders as Austin Eckler can.
Yeah, so, I don't even know who their starting running back is actually over there.
I think it's going to be Mostert. I think it's going to be Mostert.
He's solid. He just gets hurt a lot.
That's correct. I mean, he's not a power back. He's more of a speed back. But Eckler is that Swiss Army knife that I just think that the defense just ain't ready for. So I'm gonna stick with my guns and go with the Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Chargers here as well. I just think they have the better offensive. Well, actually, both offenses are pretty good, so they probably match each other out. I think Chargers have a slightly better defense than the Dolphins do. Gonna be interesting to see how Tua plays this game because he struggled last time he played the Chargers. You have to wonder.
I'll say this: running backs, Chargers; wide receivers, Dolphins; quarterbacks, Chargers.
Yeah.
To me, that's where the difference is. Got the better quarterback, and he's at home. And his wide receiver core is intact. For anyone that's going to come back and say, well, you didn't say that about Mahomes. His wide receiver core is intact.
Yeah.
His receivers are intact. Yeah, Chargers.
Yeah. This should be the year where the Chargers put it together.
barring injury. But everyone has to deal with them,
Yeah.
barring major injury, I should say, because they could have did it last year if they would have just had Williams and Allen on the field for for the games that they lost.
Yeah. Also, too, that I just forgot to mention that Dolphins defense also lost Jalen Ramsey too. He's out for a few weeks.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hurt himself.
That's a big difference because I can see Jalen Ramsey covering one of those two wide receivers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big difference. Definitely Chargers now. So maybe that'll help Brendan Staley get off the chopping block.
If the Chargers don't make the playoffs, Staley's getting fired this year.
Yeah, I gotta admit, he has no shot. And I don't mean make the playoffs with 9 and 8. You gotta make the playoffs. I mean, it's gotta be, clear.
Probably get a playoff win if you do.
Team you in. That's my point. With 2 games to play, y'all in the playoffs and you playing Rudy Poots.
Yeah. And I think also you would have to get a win in the playoffs, not do what you did last season where you're up big and then you blow it late.
Right. Yeah. Right. So they have got to make considerable strides in the postseason.
Yeah. And they could regret it because, we know Sean Payton was like very open about wanting to be going to the Chargers, but he had to stick with the Broncos. Albeit that's his decision he made. He could have just I'm not gonna take the job. I'll just sit back one more year and wait for the Chargers job to open up. But it is.
The Cowboys wanted them too before they got McCarthy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wanted the Cowboys. I think
of course not.
He wanted to run his own show. Check this out. I finally saw Hard Knocks with the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I was really touched by all the injuries that Dak Prescott has sustained.
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed with that, to the point where I was just like, okay, maybe I won't dump on him so much because he has beaten his body up for that franchise. But man, Jerry Jones was basically calling the shots through spring training.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, y'all are reporting to Jerry Jones. I mean, they set up Zoom meetings just so they can report everything they saw to Jerry Jones. And I was just like, oh, yeah, y'all, no wonder y'all ain't won crap.
Yeah. Because he wants credit.
Yeah. I mean, and then he got people bringing him food while he on the damn Zoom call.
The billionaire.
Yeah, I guess when you got it like that, you can do it like that.
Next game. The runner-up from last year's Super Bowl, the Eagles, are traveling to New England to play the Patriots. I almost said the Patriots. Sorry, Matt. I got the Eagles in this game.
Matt, we love you, but no, not this week.
Yeah.
But the Pats aren't getting blown out.
Oh yeah, no,
Pats ain't getting blown out. I'm pretty sure Belichick is almost near where he wants this team to be. I don't think he believes this team is Super Bowl ready or not, but Philly just got too much, man. They got 4 running backs who should, all intents and purposes, be RB1 somewhere else. They probably got the best wide receiver tandem in the league in AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. And they also got the reigning defending MVP of the league in Jalen Hurts. So, and on top of that, they're coming in with a sour taste in their mouth, knowing they probably could have won that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think this has the potential of being an ass whooping, but I don't think New England will go down like that. I think that I can see 28-20.
Mm-hmm.
20, 27-20, something like that.
Yeah. Gonna be interesting because they both have new OCs and new DCs.
You mean to tell me the DC is not the OC, or the OC was the DC, or what was that they were doing in New England?
I don't know.
Man,
I'm talking about the Eagles, not
or
the.
the Eagles, yeah, they got a new OC and DC.
But yeah, but Patriot. It's gonna be interesting to see how Bill O'Brien looks compared to what they were going with Matt Patricia.
But the same players. The Eagles got they increased that locker room. You know,
Well, the
but
defense kind of changed a bit. They lost C.J. Gardner Johnson. He's on the Lions.
yeah, he
Uh,
was.
hmm, I know they lost.
They lost Edwards to us.
Yeah, they lost T.J. Edwards.
So it's not the same defense.
Yeah,
They might have some issues there with a new defensive coordinator and a couple of new players at a couple of new spots. But in the end, man, that offense is still Jalen Hurts, the wide receivers. That offensive line is still,
yeah,
arguably the best in the NFL.
yep.
This roster arguably is still the best roster in the NFL. So I can't see the Patriots beating them short of someone suffering a major injury early in the game.
Yeah. Moving on. Next game.
Meaning Hurts.
Yeah.
If Hurts plays all 4 quarters, yeah, they should win this game easy.
Yeah. Hurts better play good. He's my fantasy quarterback this week.
I'm going against Hurts in fantasy this week, but I got A Bear in my lineup against the Dolphins, so I'm good.
Okay.
Good with Marino.
Next matchup is another divisional matchup. LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle.
No Cooper Kupp.
No Cooper Kupp. He apparently needs to go to Minnesota to get like a second opinion to see his hamstring might be messed up. What they're reporting.
So, like I said, no Cooper Kupp. No win for the Rams.
Yeah. I'm going Seattle here.
I'm going to Seattle here too. I don't care where they at. And I don't even know. LA, Seattle, it don't matter. Seattle's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Rams have they lost their best wide receiver. Matthew Stafford can't connect with the young players like he said, or what his wife said.
Yeah.
It's just Aaron Donald and a bunch of spare parts on defense.
Correct.
So
Van's just trying to pull all of this together as best as he possibly can. But unfortunately, man, the Rams aren't going to be able to do anything more than, let's just say, 6-11.
probably, maybe worse than that, to be honest.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. But they ain't winning.
Oh, they ain't winning. Look, to their credit, to the Rams' credit, they got their Super Bowl. So if they had not beat the Bengals in that Super Bowl in Los Angeles and they're where they're at now, well, then you could look at the freaking GM and owner and be like, well, then why'd you say F those picks? You didn't win anything.
Yeah. I'm shocked they didn't bring, Beckham Jr. back. I'm just shocked they didn't bring him back. Now, granted, he had the knee injury, and we're all trying to question whether he still has that it factor or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have given more of a look to see what he can offer us as opposed to just letting him go cold turkey.
Yeah, they let him go, and they paid Allen Robinson only to trade Allen Robinson to the Pittsburgh Steelers a year later.
I'm just... If the Bears got rid of him, then what makes you think he's valuable? I don't.
Dude's on his third team within like 3 seasons.
3 years. Yeah, he's like the Russell Westbrook of the NFL.
Well, with the exception that he's not as great as Russell Westbrook was, though.
I mean, you can question Russell Westbrook all you want. I mean, me personally, I feel like, dude, what, 5 teams in 6 years?
Yeah.
I mean, something wrong with you if you 5 teams in 6 years.
Next game, Sunday night game for this upcoming Sunday. And that is the Cowboys at the New York Giants.
This is gonna be a good one. I don't want to throw caution into the wind to Cowboy fans, but that defense is Super Bowl ready. My personal feeling. Offense depends on what Mike McCarthy decides to do and to keep that defense fresh. But that defense right now on paper is Super Bowl ready. That secondary is lit. That front four can get to the quarterback. And then on top of that, you got a linebacking core that includes Micah Parsons. That defense is lit. Can they get a win in New York against the New Look Giants? That's going to be a offense question, but I honestly think the Cowboys are going to pull it out.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the Giants here.
We'll go. Is this the only time we disagreed?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that Hard Knocks thing just kind of just hit me in the heart, man. They took at my heartstrings, and I was like, "Dag, oh dog, he had scars on his face. I mean, just it really did. I still hate the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong now, but I just that defense is gonna be nice."
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants. They made several improvements to their offense, especially Darren Waller. I'm at their tight end position helping out. What is it? Daniel Jones, Barkley's, Saquon's back. They also got they also made improvements to the defense. They trade freaking for Isaiah. This shows you how bad the Cardinals are tanking. They traded Isaiah Simmons, who was like a first-round pick for them, for basically a sixth-rounder, basically.
Yeah. They went Van. At least try to get something back from a third round, a second round. But no. What I do, I'm gonna put it. This is the Jalen Hyatt.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I love him to take the top off the defense. If they can move the chains via the pass to wide receivers, allow Waller to control the field within the numbers. Jalen Hyatt can take the top off the defense. So we're going to see. It's going to be interesting. But I like the Dallas defense more than I do like the Giants offense. So that's why I'm going with the Cowboys.
And then the Monday night game this week, which is actually shocking. We're like only having like one Monday night football game this week.
Yeah, I thought they normally do 2 to start the year.
No, that's next week.
Okay.
Next week's games, I guess, all right. You have Saints at Panthers and then Browns at Steelers next week for Monday night doubleheader.
Mm-hmm. The Browns Steelers is intriguing because it's a divisional matchup. Yeah. Because the Browns aren't a bad football team. The Panthers are going to be a bad football team.
Yeah. So the Monday night game is the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets.
I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. I'm not doing it. I'm going Buffalo until someone can prove me wrong. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go.
How many hard knocks that they have, and Aaron Rodgers cussing his wide receivers out and cussing, showing that kind of intensity. Yeah, great. You've heard nothing. Well, I've heard nothing. Again, it's probably because I'm overseas. I've heard nothing about the Bills, which tells me,
except the Stephon Diggs saga they got going on over there.
Well, I mean, a diva wide receiver. I mean, that's all it is. Diva wide receivers. We didn't heard about that time and time again. I mean, for me, Buffalo needs to run the ball more.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to, throw the ball here, there, too, and letting your quarterback be the number one rusher on the team. You got James Cook, this young, up-and-coming young Thundercat. Get a ball to that cat 20 times and see what happens. But they're not. They're not going to run the ball to him 20 times. Watch. But Buffalo's good enough to win this game, though.
Yeah, I got Buffalo. I think they're going to win by 7 points. This could be.
I'm not sipping that tea just yet.
So we'll see. Although the Jets defense is legit, though.
Their front four is seriously good.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner is the truth. I mean, he can cut half the field off.
Is
You know,
DJ Reed the other corner on the other side too?
I believe so.
Okay.
So I mean, the Jets drafted well. So I mean, they got a legit number one wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. Rodgers still shows he can actually throw the football. Is Brees Hall going to be available for this game?
I think so. And they also got Dalvin Cook.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Which means he's probably not going to be available for this game. They're just going to go ahead and get Dalvin in and get his carries in until Hall comes back. So, but we will see. I still like Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants to jump on the Jets, say Super Bowl, things of that nature. I was like, look at that damn division, man. You got Buffalo, you got Miami. You know, I mean, you got New England. I mean, granted, New England is probably the worst of those four teams. And you're looking at four teams that potentially can win at least 8 games.
Yeah.
Potentially. So that division is not going to be a pushover by no stretch of the imagination. So I'm not going to sit up here and just jump on the Jets and say playoffs. They're going to have to win 9 to 10 games to be able to be considered for the playoffs, I think.
And on top of it, if they do make the playoffs, if we're talking Super Bowl, they got to get past these top AFC teams.
Cincinnati is still there. Kansas City. And let's not sneeze on the Chargers, the Steelers, Ravens.
Jaguars.
Say again?
Jaguars.
You know, that AFC South is, well, the AFC South for me is just going to be all about the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's the Jaguars division.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose. You know, short of, you know, Lawrence getting, you know, injured and they're having to go with a backup, you know. But Jaguars, for me, the Jaguars is a solid playoff team because they're the best team in that division, and they're gonna win that division by default.
Yeah,
but man, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. Right now, you can even consider the Browns, but we got to see what they're gonna do on the field. But the Browns, for me, are better than the teams other than the Jaguars in the AFC South.
Yeah,
you know. The Browns might be better than the Patriots. Might be.
Yeah. Definitely debatable.
Oh, yeah. It's debatable, but, you know, so, I mean, the Jets, by no stretch of the imagination for me in that division, and they got to play each team twice.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to sit up and jump on that bandwagon just yet. You know, Aaron Rodgers still is that same cat that if you can get to him and hit him 1 or 2 good times, oh yeah, he gonna cower because he ain't running out of that pocket. He ain't trying to run for no first downs. He gonna throw the ball away. He ain't trying to take any hits. So, whereas you know, Tua, definitely Allen. You know, yeah, they'll definitely get out of the pocket. You know. Jones, on the other hand, you know, he gonna stay in that pocket regardless. But you know, AFC is deep. Yeah. It really is. So we'll see. But I'm not jumping on the Jets bandwagon.
Yeah. That's basically it for NFL predictions. Can't wait for this upcoming week. Next week we'll do our NFL Week 1 recap, then our Week 2 predictions.
Yeah.
Things like that, but I have nothing really else to talk about.
Looking for the Bears to do really well.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really excited. So
yeah. Also, too, on Sunday, after Sunday, before the Sunday night game, we're also going to be here on our Bears recap, talking the Bears game.
Yeah,
discussing what we liked, what we didn't like, why we won, or why we did win. Simple stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. We're really excited because the roster looks absolutely fantastic. So I feel we won the offseason. Not, let's just say the Jets, only because they're in New York. But looking forward to the Bears, man.
Yep. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to college football, albeit I'm gonna miss the morning games, which I'm like, darn it, I'm gonna miss the Colorado game. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, they're playing Nebraska, right?
Yeah, they're playing Nebraska.
Oh, they should beat them.
They should beat them, but you never know. Nebraska, they might rebound after their stupid loss last week.
And then on top of that, my concern is that, granted, Coach Sanders had to say what he had to say to the media, but, one game does not a season make. And, I'm pretty sure he's going to have his team focused on staying the course and things of that nature. But, sometimes when you talk too much, you're not going to win every game this year. And if you do, great. Yeah. But you're not going to win every game this year. So at some point, I think, Coach Sanders is going to have to take some kind of humble pie.
Yeah.
But I ain't thinking about any of them games. The only thing I'm thinking about is Alabama welcome Texas into our house and beat the ever-loving sugar honey iced tea out of them and send them back packing, going to that red state that they call Texas. Roll Tide.
I think it's gonna be a close game, that game.
It will be, because they got a quarterback that can actually play. So as a matter of fact, Quentin Ewers was doing really well until he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we won that game is because we dealt with backups.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, we're gonna get up here. Oh, USC Stanford next week, or this week too. Tomorrow too.
Oh, USC gonna beat the brakes off Stanford. You Pac-12 teams, y'all ain't worth the time.
Really?
Y'all ain't worth the time. I'm not thinking about y'all. Yeah, y'all went beat it the first week or something like that. 12-0, 13-0. Y'all playing for the shoulders.
Yeah.
I can't say that because we played 1-2.
Yeah, I went to the Coastal Carolina UCLA game, so
did you really?
Yeah, I was like sitting first row.
All right, okay, all right. That's nice. I'm, wish I could get to go see an Alabama game. See if they can get them to come on over here to Germany, like the Bears were going to try to be. But Kansas City, they kind of nixed that.
Oh yeah,
that was heartbreaking.
Who's the games in Germany this year again?
Yeah, it's Kansas City and Miami, and that's Frankfurt, which is only about an hour and a half from where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a Munich game. I want to say Seattle is back out there again this year.
Okay.
I can't remember who the 4 teams were. But
all right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the NFL predictions. Well, to the subscribe button if you want to get more Camp 15 Talk Sports content and anything else on the channel. I upload to the channel. But till then, guys, catch you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Great rest of your day. Peace.